if you want to set your colors here in hexadecimal, you could do that too. So OF set
the hex,
hex color, then 0x FF 0000. That's the same as red. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm going to close this one and create another one from scratch. So, project generator. Gonna name this one example 2 more mouse. Put it under my apps. Generate. So apps, my apps. Sample 2 more mouse. So using the mouse X and mouse Y there is just one way of using the mouse coordinates. We could also use the things inside these functions here. So going to my header file, eh.h, gonna create a int circle X and another one called circle Y. I can do this, okay? When I declare two variables, two different variables that they have the same type, I can do it in just one line with a comma. Int circle X, circle Y. Then OF set color. There's another way of using this OF set color. It's using some colors that are sort of presets from openFrameworks. When you do OF color 2 columns, you're gonna have this list of colors here. Royal blue, salmon, sea green, seashell, pink, Peru. I have no idea. Peru.
What is Peru?
I actually have no idea of any people who actually uses.
Oh, the examples.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like an actual graphics.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I think these are the same HTML colors. I'm not sure. Yeah, not sure. So OF circle. Gonna draw this one on circle X, circle Y. It's gonna be 50 pixels. Gonna give a size to my window. OF set window shape. We have some long functions here in openFrameworks. Long names. Okay, right now it's not doing anything, right? Because my circle X and my circle Y haven't been initialized. I haven't assigned any value to that. What I'm gonna do is,
sorry, what's the values for window shape? Ah.
OF set window shape. Okay. So I can use any of these functions here. I can, for instance, say I want my circle to follow the mouse only when I drag it. So I can use the mouse drag function. So inside of mouse drag, I'm going to do circle x equals x. When I do x, remember Jason's examples. This x refers to this x here, which is the x of the mouse, and this function is called. So circle y goes y. Let's see Peru. So move my mouse, circle's there. If I press and drag, the circle follows my mouse. Okay. So if I put it in mouse moved, it's going to be always following my mouse. Okay.
My window disappeared.
Disappeared.
Yes.
At all?
At all.
If you do Command Tab, do you see? No. Try to run it again. No?
The window disappeared.
And the window disappears.
Is that window shape?
You're using this.
It's the size of the window.
But there's no relation. Because it usually appears here.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah. Process.
Oh, there we go. So you want to make sure it's building
Oh,
to the target of your
sorry.
application.
Yeah, I knew that already. I forgot.
Yeah, you want to be able to debug usually.
So
Yeah.
Mine's only the
Also,
Okay. So
also there is this thing called set
it's not an equal sign.
background false. This is evil. Shouldn't be teaching that. OF set background auto, and I reset it to false. Right on setup, not on draw. OF set background auto. What does it do? Is it cool?
brush.
It's like a brush. Yeah.
Why is it?
So, let's see this. So it's like a brush. What's happening is, by default, openFrameworks cleans up every frame before drawing the current one. Cleans up every previous frame, right? So if I don't have that, it's like cleaning the frame and drawing a new circle. Then cleans up the frame, draws a new circle. But I can set that to false. And now every frame is there. It's not cleaning up anything.
Sorry.
So, for instance, I could have some transparency in this color here. If I say offset color 0, 200, 100, and I put a fourth parameter, say 50. This is the alpha. This is the transparency. If I put a fourth number there. So I'm gonna have this. Okay. Also, I could use the position of the mouse to set the color, right? I could use this. Instead of putting 0 here, I could say, make this with relative to the mouse X. It's already changing that. So,
Pretty.
Yeah, very nice.
and maybe the blue relative to the mouse Y. Did it work?
We'll see. Yep. Did not work. Could you maybe slow down a little bit so we can solve this thing? I'm giving simple code, it's architecture. So you started this project with a project generator, everything alright. Did you move the folder in which it was in?
No.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Cool, cool.
Reminds me of processing.
Yeah, that's a very processing example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we
So I'm
start
trying to
here.
play it with these numbers. So what happens if, for instance, I say mouse X divided by 2? What happens there? Is it a different palette or not? Is it a different color?
It skips one, I guess. Oh, that's not color.
I'm guessing there's. Try to find it. Let's see if this building. Yeah, this is building. Oh, that's a bit sign. So what I suggest you do, what I think is happening. Yeah. If you do like this, then you can see your app and your header at the same time.
Okay.
But what I'm guessing is happening is that at some point you deleted one of these keys and now it's complaining to you because it's not finding one of the files that it should be finding.
Okay.
It's not finding the files for the architecture, it seems they are undefined. So I would say like start from here and then go sort of, I'm sure this is not a problem. Then sort of go line by line, so like this, then run it, like, okay, this is built succeeded. And set condition. shape, that's also not going to be a problem. And this is one of the reasons that Xcode sucks, is that it will not tell you always where the problem is. It's going to make best guesses saying, oh, I think there's a problem, and your problem is here. Probably.
Okay.
So,
I don't like RGB that much. I usually use this other color mode called HSB. It's for hue, saturation, brightness, right? Whoever ever used Photoshop or even processing, let's see if I can make processing fast. Tools, color selector. Okay. So you guys are probably familiar with this thing. It's the same thing in Photoshop, Illustrator. Yeah, a lot of design programs. So this is the hue. Red, magenta, blue, cyan, green, yellow, orange, red. This is the hue. And then for each hue, for each value of hue, I can have a different saturation. Goes from white to the full color, and a different brightness goes from the color to black. So to define an HSB color here, I need first to create a color variable. OF color, say color what? This is sort of like what Jason was talking about when he talked about the string, right? Which is, it's a variable type, but it holds more than just one value. It's an object. So this one, I can say color1.set HSB, and then it's going to ask me for the hue, the saturation, and the brightness. I'm going to use the mouse X as the hue, saturation relative to the mouse Y, maybe? No, I'm going to use 255 for this one, and then mouse Y. And then instead of this, I'll have OF set color, and I put my color inside of it. Okay? So I'm declaring an object, a color object, then setting an HSB value for that object, and then setting the scene, the color for the objects with that. So let's see what happens. The famous rainbow example. Another very processing-like example.
Can a little bit.
Sure.
Sorry, I missed a little bit. So, color one, I have in my header as an int.
No, I'm setting it in the draw because I'm not gonna change it.
Oh, I know.
You know, from frame to frame, I'm gonna create a new one in each frame.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's not a global verb. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, this kind of covers the basics of drawing stuff. But you're the next. Should we start for loops?
What time is it?
9:17.
Yeah, show one.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. Gonna close this one. Gonna close this one. This is always tricky. Then project generator. Example 3. Look. Inside of my apps, generate project. So if everything went fine, should be here, apps, my apps, sample 3. This is the most basic of all loops. So the thing is, say I want to draw a grid of circles, bunch of circles. I don't want to do like OF circle x10, OF circle x20, and then put every circle there. And then I want to draw 400 circles. I don't want to write 400 lines. Okay? I want to make a loop to draw all of them at once. Let's start small. Inside draw, I'm gonna do 4. Let's do this as an int. I equals 0. I less than OF get width. I equals I plus 1. So what does that mean? It says create a new number. Jason had that in his example. Start a new number with the value of 0. Increase that number 1 by 1. And then stop doing that when this condition is not true anymore. So it's going to count from 0 to 1 to OF get width, the size of my window, going that 1 by 1. Going to use that to draw my circles. OF circle I, going to put it in the middle of the screen. OF get height divided by 2. These are going to be small. We're going to give these guys a color. OF set color 0, 180, 100, and some alpha. Okay, this is drawing a lot of circles there. I can't see them because they are separated by just 1 pixel, one from another. If instead I do increase it by 20 pixels, 30 pixels. So my I starts at 0 and then it increases to 30, 60, 90, 120. And then I use that number to draw the X to position my circle. They are there, super bright. Okay, getting there. Maybe better there. Okay. So, another interesting thing here is this thing here, 99% of the time you see as I, but I don't need to call it I. I can give it a better name that kind of suggests what's its function here. So I could call this thing X, for instance, right? Because it's increasing the X position. I'm gonna change it all to X. It's not gonna make any difference right now. It's gonna be the same. Instead of going until the end of my document, I could make it go until my mouse position, for instance. I could do, gonna copy this, comment that out. Create another one actually. It's gonna be better. This one will be below the other one. I have two loops there. One, the condition is increase the X until it reaches the end of the document. The other one is increase the X until it reaches my mouse X. Also, remember that this thing here, the whole thing that happens in the draw is just one frame. So for each frame, it does all the, I don't know how many circles, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, plus these guys. I could set the color based on that, for instance. Because if I have the color out there, it's just one color for everything, right? If I put the color here inside, I could say, well, make the green based on the X. Make the green based on the X. So I have scale from blue to green. Everybody with me so far? Not too fast.
I'm having problems here.
Let me see. You need, no, you put the command here, you don't need yeah. Yeah, now we pick this and yeah.
Very nice. Okay. And now I could have a nested loop, which is a loop inside of a loop. So,
It's getting
yeah.
generic.
And you can have as many as you want, actually, it's not only two. But let's say I have this loop drawing one line. I want to draw a whole grid. So I'll have one loop doing a line and another loop drawing one line for each Y position.
Just 1 second, now it's 9:27, so I just want to make sure everyone want to keep going.
Yeah, this is all in the examples, right? Don't panic. Yeah, also, before that,
Yes. You probably let me see.
your homework is to explore examples,
So mist,
graphics,
you need a football and
graphics
see,
example,
you always check
and
like this. Say if they are close.
what was the other
you see
one?
them. Yeah, now.
Polygon example.
Mhm.
These two. Okay, this is your homework. Take a look at these two. There's a lot more drawing functions there. A lot more. You can draw curves, you can draw complex shapes, a lot of different stuff. Maybe you can draw your star. That's your homework. Okay, the nested loop. It's
What's the homework again? Sorry.
study these two. Example, graphics, graphics example, and polygon example. These are very good. Okay, so the nested loop is just for you guys to go home happy because you saw something really interesting. That was very cool. So I'm gonna make another loop. See that this one is inside of that one? And then this is gonna be the Y from 0 to mouse Y. Y increases by 30. Then gonna draw it on X, Y, and the color. Gonna make color here as fast as I can. Set HSD, CBX, 255. And Y. Color. Let's see what happens there. Nothing. It's breaking because of this.
Uh-huh.
I had the same problem when I did it first. There we go. So it increases the X 30 pixels until it reaches my mouse X and increases the Y. So this one is drawing the lines and the X is drawing the columns. You can think of it like that. Take a look at the examples I sent you and the ones under the examples folder. Play with it a little bit. There's some more stuff, transparency, and other types of shapes, especially curves. It's an interesting thing. We didn't see how to set the line width. That's useful too. And play a bit with these guys. But we're going to do a lot more in the next class. Yeah, that's it. 9:30, right on time.
All right.